Every year, 32 students are chosen as Rhodes Scholars through a rigorous application process, with an acceptance rate of less than 4%. This year, Yale led the way with 7 incredible recipients. When the names of the Rhodes Scholars were announced, they could hardly believe it.
And then they said my name, and I don't really quite remember it, to be honest. It was surreal, and it still is.
Disbelief. It was really, really exciting. And so David Carroll is in my district too, and they read our names at the same time, basically.
When they announced it, we were sitting right next to each other, and just sort of like, I think I just like clutched her hand, and we sort of got up and just hugged each other.
Right. It's both exciting and humbling to look at the people that have gone through this process, and to think that you're being included in that group is both intimidating and inspiring and exciting. It's a huge, just awesome mix of emotions, and I really can't wait for it.
It's incredibly humbling. I mean, there are incredible people that I really admire who've had the scholarship before that said, you know, I have to go live my life, you know, and try to do what I want to do and try to make a difference in the way that I think I can. So.
What does it actually mean to be a Rhodes Scholar?
So one of the main principles that they talk about in the Rhodes Scholarship is fighting the world's fight. And what Cecil Rhodes had talked about in his will, and making sure people have an understanding and a compassion for the rest of humanity.
The criteria of the Rhodes Scholarship, it's academic excellence, capacity for leadership, moral force of character, and sort of physical vigor, which used to be mostly a sports requirement, now is interpreted more broadly about sort of people who want to go out and make a difference in the world.
Full scholarship to attend Oxford for 2 or 3 years.
For students interested in applying for the Rhodes Scholarship, the process begins at the end of their junior year.
The application process starts really near the end of last semester, and then throughout the whole summer. Again, talking to all sorts of professors and mentors about sort of what, talking about career goals, talking about what proposals at Oxford make sense, and really a long process with getting a lot of help from a lot of different people.
You interview, and then you find out, you know, that day in a room with all the other candidates, but only from your district. And I actually brought cards, and I, you know, had a great, like, kind of card games with the other candidates. I mean, we got along very well. It was like a really actually nice atmosphere. To be honest, the entire weekend was while stressful, was, you know, overall like kind of a great experience. I know it's hard to imagine, but it really was.
Even though it's only a couple-month process, it sort of feels like a lifetime. I probably wrote about 26 drafts of my personal statement.
The intensity of the application process ensures that the applicants are fully invested in furthering an education at Oxford.
And I decided that I wanted to apply to the Blavatnik School of Government to earn a Master of Public Policy.
I want to be a professor. I think I'm definitely going to be in academia, and hopefully I'll be able to be involved in, you know, conservation policy as well.
I will be studying modern Chinese studies.
So at Oxford, I'm planning to study public policy, and then after that, perhaps medical anthropology. Like I said, my goal is to come back to medical school in the U.S. and to be involved as a physician treating patients, but also to be involved in health policy.
Would love to be working in South Africa in health policy, maybe education policy.
2 weeks after the announcement, the recipients are still coming to terms with the honor of being a Rhodes Scholar.
I say this, but I still, like, when people say congratulations or, you know, congrats on the Rhodes Scholarship, I still sort of for a second thinking, like, did it actually happen? Like, is it still just, oh, okay, it actually did happen. Thank you.
After speaking with most of the recipients of the Rhodes Scholarship here at Yale, it is obvious that next year Yale is going to be very well represented at Oxford. Reporting from Yale Daily News Multimedia, I'm Britta Hjelm.